Welcome to the Cars of Palm Springs. I'm Denny Adams. Today it's all about the 70s, as you might have noticed. We're here in front of the funky Musicland Hotel. It was designed by Hugh Captor. And our ride today is a 1972 Lincoln Continental Mark IV. So hop in, let's go for a ride. The Musicland Hotel and many of the buildings we'll be seeing in this episode are examples of what is called brutalist architecture that became popular in the 70s. Nice touch, the disco ball. Like a lot of American cars at this time, it was just the speedometer, and the other instrument panel was a big Cartier clock in the Lincolns. All the other warning gauges were just lights that came on. By that time, it was usually too late. An interesting feature of this car, the horn was an idea used for a short period. It's a squeeze rim. We're on our way to see some of the historic 70s buildings here in Palm Springs. This is St. Teresa's Church. This bunker-like structure was designed by William Cody. This was a pretty expensive car when it was new. It cost $8,640, or about $61,000 in today's dollars. Fire Station 3 and Fire Station 4 were both designed by Hugh Captor. Designed in the early 1970s, this was originally called Tackwitz Plaza, but was renamed Captor Plaza. We're headed to the Palm Springs Public Library for the walk-around. We're here in front of another Brutalist era building. It's designed by William Cody in 1975, the Palm Springs Public Library. In 1972, 48,591 Mark IVs were built. It was built in the Wixom Assembly Plant in Michigan. It was built alongside the Ford Thunderbird. They shared a lot of the same components to reduce production costs. The Ford Wixom Assembly Plant had an interesting history. It opened in 1958, producing the Lincoln Capri. It produced other famous cars such as the full-size Lincoln, Thunderbirds, the Marks, and also the Ford GT40. The Ford GT was also built here in 2005-2006. It's 220 inches long and 79.8 inches wide. It weighs 5,260 pounds. The long hood, short trunk lid theme was very popular at this time period for car design. So as we're walking along, we have trunk, roof line, passenger compartment, hood, and more hood. It doesn't have an inside hood release. The latch is actually under here. Underneath, we have a 460 cubic inch V8 engine with a 4-barrel carburetor linked to a C6 3-speed transmission. A popular design element of Lincoln's during this time period was the fake rear bustle. This designed to simulate the rear spare tire. But upon opening the trunk, as you notice, the spare tire isn't there, it's up here. It's just a design. Being a luxury car in 1972 included such features as power seats, windows, leather seats, and of course air conditioning. Even the rear passengers had their own ashtray and cigarette lighter built into the armrest. A little unusual for this time period was the early application of 3-point harness seat belts. In this system, it was actually, the lap belt was separate. You had to drop this down from the ceiling, connect it, and then buckle it in. Now let's hit the open road. Now this car's in its element. Open road straight away at 65, 70 miles an hour. It's perfectly comfortable and easy to drive. You can cover a lot of mileage. American luxury cars were in a class all their own. They were basically the only competition for this car was the Cadillac Eldorado. What happened in 1972? The world's first pocket calculator, the HP 35, cost $395. The break-in at the Watergate Hotel occurs, triggering the scandal and resignation of President Richard Nixon. The Blue Marble picture is taken 18,000 miles from Earth by the crew of Apollo 17. This was the last manned mission to the moon. The Godfather is #1 at the box office. McDonald's introduced the Egg McMuffin. So as we end our episode about the 70s, we're here in front of a Brutalist period building designed by Laszlo Sandor. It features typical heavy concrete bunker-like walls with recessed windows, and this one has a large tower as well. If you enjoyed the episode, please hit like and subscribe.